Caleb, it's beautiful. There's just a couple of things that I want to show you about how to make the inside text read better and to just tone down the background and give the image, give the whole ad a sense of dimension. That's what I wanted to say. So we're going to try a couple of things here. I'm going to go down to this yellowy background here, right here, and instead of yellow, I'm going to color this white, or I'm going to put a layer one below this background, okay, one below, and I'm going to turn off that yellow background. But I'm going to just fill it with white, so I'm going to go Control, Backspace, or Command Delete. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to tone this background down, so I'm going to add a layer mask. Now, I don't know if you've used a whole bunch, and why I'm backing off of this is I want you to see something. I'm going to hit the G key for the gradient tool, and Photoshop did a little bit of a different thing with it in this new version, so it's a little bit more hard. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but I want to use foreground to transparent. So I'm going to click this. Sorry, I'm going to click this. Oh, they did it. Oh. This is foreground to transparent. I don't like what they have done to the gradient editor. I really don't. They used to get a whole bunch of different choices inside of here, and I don't like it. But anyway, I want to use foreground to transparent, okay? I don't even know where they put it. Oh, they put it in here. They put it in basics. They shouldn't have done that. But anyway, I want to use foreground to transparent, all right? But you can see over here that I want to flip with the X key so it goes from black, which eliminates tone. I know this is not fair, but black, which eliminates tone, to white, which is transparent, okay? So I'm going to make sure I'm selected on the layer mask. I'm going to start higher than the object, click, hold the Shift key, and work my way down to about halfway. Now what that's going to do is it's going to lighten the background. You still see the background, but it takes the onus, it takes the intensity away from it, okay? Now, if I wanted to, I could use my paintbrush, or I could move up a little bit higher if I wanted more of that to show. But remember, the focus is on the food, and the background is just atmosphere. Now, let's just add a couple things. So I'm going to show you what that looks like if I disable the layer mask. See how you can't read it real well? Okay, now let's go over here and let's enable it. Now, what I want to do is add a little bit of a drop shadow to the lettering, and then we're going to switch out this white, because you have white on white and it's not really totally working. So let's go and turn off this white image here, okay? And what I want to do is to add something in a few minutes, but I'm going to click on your lettering and go to the FX drop shadow. Now I'll move it over, and you can see that I have the drop shadow, which now the lettering reads much better. I've moved the distance to 9 and the feather, or the size, to 9, and I've made the opacity a little bit more than the 30% that it was on. Okay, now let's also let's add, oh, my phone is buzzing, I'm so sorry. Okay, let's add a drop shadow to maybe the upper McChicken. Okay, so let me see where that is. That's up there. So if I hold Alt or Option, I can drag the drop shadow down to this one here. And now it should be right there. There's the drop. Oh, you already had a drop shadow on it. Okay, let me Control Z back. And let me see, because I didn't open this up, okay? You do have a drop shadow. Let me see where it is. Okay, oh, I see. That's fine. I like what you did there. We don't need an extra drop shadow. But I'm going to use this rectangle that you have here, and I held the Command or Control key to make a selection of it. And I want you to see how I'm going to put a new layer above layer 3, but below the food. I'm going to put a new layer there, and I'm going to use my B key and grab the same gray that's right there. Okay, now this is going to take a second. I want you to see it. So now I'm going to just fill up layer 19, Alt, Backspace, or Option Delete. Now, let's play with this, okay? So let's put it on a multiply mode. Let's lower the opacity so it just barely shows up like this. Now I'm going to stretch it and I'm going to make it go all the way to the top and bottom. So I'm going to hit Control T, hold the Shift key and move it up above the file, and then hold the Shift key and move it down below the file. Now I want to add a layer mask to it. Now we're going to take the same G key, which is the gradient tool. I'm going to start right above the file, right here. And I'm going to click, remember it's foreground to transparent, and I'm clicked on this left icon right here. So I go about 1/2 inch above, hold the Shift key and work my way down to the lettering. Now I've kind of vignetted it, all right? I made it a little, I'm going to do it a little bit deeper. So let's go down a little bit deeper. There, that's better. Now, I used to be able to add multiple gradients to this, and I have to find out why, because every time I try to put an additional gradient on this by just using the gradient tool, it replaces the one that I have there. So what I'm going to do, since I'm happy with this, is right-hand click and apply the layer mask. Now I'm going to go to add a new layer mask, which seems ridiculous. I'll have to find the new way around this. So I click down here below, hold the Shift key. Oh, so sorry. Let me Z back. They've made it very sensitive. So I click right here, hold the Shift key, and work my way up to the lettering. Now look at how that's added. Let me go a little bit higher. Look at how that's added a really nice vignette. And by having that there, it gives your focus up, okay, brings your focus up, and it brings your focus down into the product. So let me hit Control semicolon so we can see. So now this is what you had. Let me turn this off. This is what you had here, and then this is what you had on the background. So I'm going to right-hand click and disable that. So there's your ad, okay? Now it even works here, just having the drop shadow on the inside lettering. See how that, if I take the drop shadow and turn it off, you see you can't read it, now you can, okay? Now there's another thing that could have been done. Watch how I can hold Alt or Option and drag the drop shadow to that white square. Now it gives it a little bit more front and back dimension. But, and here's the but, I think that if we turn that off, okay, reapply the layer mask down here, reapply it. Well, let me not reapply it yet. I just want to see what that looks like when I click this. Okay, now that works. I probably should redo the gradient on this, because if I enable it, look at it, I probably took away a little bit too much of that. So what I'm going to do is delete it off the background, apply a new layer mask, go up a little higher but not down so far. So I hit my G key, start way up here, hold the Shift key and work my way down to about the top of the cup. I just want to lighten up a little bit farther down. So it's a trial and error thing. Okay, let's go down there. Oh, a little bit too much still. Let's come down a little bit less. That works. Okay, that drives you into the lettering a little bit better. Okay, and you can see I've only applied a little bit of gray up there, but I do think that it made the McChicken meal read better. And it also, I'm sorry, and it also really helps with the gray really helps with the readability of that lettering. Okay, so just wanted you to see what I think. I think you did a great job on it. I don't like how the logo, the gradient is going through the logo. So I should move the logo above the gradient. And now that works beautifully. Okay, that really works nicely. I probably, if I wanted to, could take a big paintbrush, because I don't like this. Let me click down here to this. Okay, let me make this bigger. Okay, I'm hitting my B key and my bracket keys are not working. This is weird. This is definitely weird. Let me see if it works here. Okay, let me see what's wrong with the B key. Brush tool. I probably need to restart Photoshop, okay? Let me see this. Don't know why that's not working. Oh, I'm in the gradient tool. I need it to be in the B key. There we go. I don't know why that took so long. Okay, Photoshop from this latest update sure isn't working. So I'm going to be painting in black like this, but I'm going to put the flow down to about 5% and definitely with a right-hand click of 0 hardness. And you see this line that's right there? I'm going to put a little bit more. I clicked over to the mask. I'm going to put a little bit more black on the mask. And you can see by me putting more black on the mask, I'm actually softening that line where it goes into the logo because it really wasn't needed there. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, there wasn't needed there at all. And that looks so much better. That really does. Looks so much better. So, those are my suggestions, and you can take whatever you want from it. But remember, the text has to read real well, okay? And that's just what I feel, okay? I like it, and we can go from there. Let me see the next one.